What if I told you that deep within Africa lies a technology so disruptive, it could change the global balance of power forever? High voltage, a free energy generator, hidden from mainstream headlines, that could power cities without fuel, without sunlight, and without ever plugging into the grid. And here's the twist. The Pentagon knows about it, and they may not want the world to. Face screaming in fear. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover the untold story of Africa's secret free energy breakthrough and why global superpowers are watching very, very closely. The story begins in southern Africa, where engineers and inventors have been quietly working on a device unlike anything seen before, a generator that produces continuous energy without conventional fuel sources. Some call it impossible. Others call it the future of humanity. Reports claim this technology taps into ambient energy fields, a concept scientists have debated for decades. If true, it would bypass oil, gas, coal, even solar panels and wind farms. Imagine clean, limitless power from a box that fits in your garage. But here's the catch. Inventions like this rarely stay hidden for long. Why would the Pentagon be interested? The answer is simple. Energy equals power. For over a century, wars have been fought over oil. Economies have risen and collapsed based on who controls fuel. Now imagine a world where African nations hold the key to unlimited free energy. To the Pentagon, this isn't just a science project. It's a strategic threat. A device like this could make military bases energy independent, reduce America's reliance on foreign oil, and, if it falls into the hands of rivals, shift the balance of global power overnight. Leaked reports and whispers suggest U.S. defense analysts are already tracking these breakthroughs closely. Could this be Africa's moment to turn the tables on the world stage? If Africa's free energy technology becomes real and scalable, the impact will be staggering. Oil-rich nations could lose their dominance. Utility companies would face extinction. The race for clean energy would be over before it even began. But here's the most fascinating part. Unlike solar or wind, this technology is not weather-dependent. It could run in deserts, rainforests, or frozen tundra, making every corner of the globe energy independent. For African nations, this could mean finally breaking free from centuries of exploitation and stepping into the spotlight as energy leaders of the future. Globe showing Europe, Africa. Skeptics argue that such a generator defies the laws of physics. Yet history reminds us, the impossible often becomes possible. Just decades ago, flying across the ocean in hours or holding the world's knowledge in a phone sounded like science fiction. Today, it's reality. One thing is certain. The world is on the brink of an energy transformation, and Africa may just hold the key. But here's where things get darker. Every time a radical energy invention appears on the horizon, it seems to mysteriously vanish. Think back to Nikola Tesla, whose experiments with wireless energy in the early 1900s were reportedly shut down because they threatened the business empires of oil and electricity. Now, in Africa, rumors swirl that investors who once backed this free energy project suddenly withdrew. Engineers working on prototypes went silent. Some even claim intimidation. Coincidence or deliberate suppression? If history is repeating itself, the world may never see this breakthrough reach mass production, unless the inventors can protect it from the shadows of powerful interests. Here's the Pentagon's dilemma. Should they seize the technology for military dominance, or risk letting it spread globally, where rivals like China or Russia could weaponize it first? Imagine a battlefield where drones, tanks, and bases run on infinite free energy. The country that controls such a technology wouldn't just dominate wars, they would dominate civilization itself. So, if the Pentagon already knows of Africa's hidden generator, they face a critical choice: integrate it into America's arsenal or bury it so no one else can use it. For Africa, this is more than technology, it's destiny. If nurtured, this invention could lift millions out of poverty, electrify rural communities, and give African nations independence from global fuel markets. No more reliance on imported oil. No more power blackouts that cripple economies. But if suppressed, it could become yet another chapter in a long history where Africa's innovations were stolen, silenced, or overshadowed by outside powers. Will Africa hold its ground, or will the Pentagon's shadow loom too large? There's also another mystery: hidden players in the energy game. Whispers suggest private corporations, global energy giants, and even secret investors from Asia have already approached the inventors, offering fortunes in exchange for control. The inventors reportedly refused. But how long can they resist when billions, and perhaps the fate of the world, are at stake? One thing is clear. What happens next will determine whether Africa's secret free energy remains a dream or ignites a revolution. To understand why this technology is so disruptive, we need to explore the science. Insiders claim the generator works by tapping into ambient electromagnetic fields, an invisible ocean of energy that surrounds us at all times. Some scientists call it zero-point energy, the theoretical fuel of a universe itself. If true, it means Africa's device doesn't just bend the rules of physics, it rewrites them. For decades, mainstream science dismissed this idea as fantasy. But quietly, in labs across the world, researchers have been chasing the same dream. If this technology is real, the implications are staggering. Think about the oil cartels in the Middle East. Think about Russia's grip on natural gas. Think about trillion-dollar energy companies who profit every time you fill your car or pay your electricity bill. Free energy doesn't just challenge them. It destroys their business model overnight. That's why the Pentagon's interest makes sense. For the U.S., controlling this breakthrough could mean weakening rivals who depend on energy exports while securing its own dominance for the next century. But for Africa, the stakes are even higher: control over its own destiny. Here's something you won't see on the evening news. Mainstream media rarely touches this subject. Why? Because the more people learn about free energy, the harder it becomes to keep it under wraps. Instead, stories appear only in whispers, scattered reports, unverified leaks, or articles buried where few will look. And yet, behind closed doors, defense analysts, corporations, and intelligence agencies are paying attention. Despite the silence, a movement is growing. Across the continent, young African innovators are standing up, determined to protect and showcase their breakthroughs. They believe free energy could transform Africa into a global powerhouse, leading the charge into a future where energy is no longer a weapon control, but a gift for humanity. But standing in their way are some of the most powerful forces on Earth. The Pentagon, oil empires, corporate giants, all watching closely, ready to act. The question is, will Africa be allowed to rise? But who are the people behind this invention? Sources describe them as a small team of engineers, entrepreneurs, and visionaries, working in secrecy, far from the world's technology capitals. Some of them are said to be self-taught geniuses. Others, scientists who turned their backs on traditional academia after their ideas were dismissed as impossible. One name surfaces more than once: an inventor who reportedly demonstrated a prototype capable of running indefinitely without fuel. Witnesses describe a device as no larger than a refrigerator, yet able to power an entire home. And then, just as suddenly as the reports appeared, silence. The inventors vanished from public view. Whispers claim that after early demonstrations, strangers began visiting the inventors. Businessmen in sharp suits, military men in plain clothes. Some offered extraordinary sums of money to buy the patents. Others weren't offering at all, but warning. Was this intimidation or protection? No one can say for certain. But those close to the story insist pressure was applied. It would not be the first time. Throughout history, groundbreaking energy ideas have often been locked away in classified files, never to be seen again. Could Africa's free energy generator be following the same path? Behind closed doors, the Pentagon has a history of acquiring technologies too dangerous or too powerful for public use. Declassified documents reveal entire vaults of projects that never reached the light of day. Now, evidence suggests analysts within the Department of Defense are actively monitoring Africa's energy experiments. Some believe they've already secured prototypes. But here's the paradox. While the Pentagon may wish to suppress the tech, they can't ignore its potential. If rival nations gain access first, America could lose its global edge. This creates a dangerous tug-of-war between secrecy and survival. And in that tug-of-war, the inventors stand in the middle. Meanwhile, the world is running out of time. Climate change, rising energy prices, and the threat of resource wars are pushing humanity toward a breaking point. The need for clean, limitless energy has never been greater. Could Africa's hidden generator be the solution? Or will it become another suppressed invention, hidden away in classified vaults? While the world continues to burn fossil fuels, fight oil wars, and pay soaring bills, the clock is ticking and the decision may no longer rest in Africa's hands alone. Then came the whispers, a leaked video, grainy and incomplete, allegedly showing one of the prototypes in operation. The clip, shared briefly online before vanishing, displayed a small metallic unit. No fuel, no plug, no solar panels, yet powering a row of lights. Viewers claimed it ran for hours without interruption. Skeptics called it fake. Supporters insisted it was proof. But the most telling detail? The video disappeared within 24 hours, taken down across multiple platforms, almost as if someone didn't want it seen. Not long after, reports emerged of multinational energy corporations making quiet moves in Africa. These were the same corporations whose profits depend on oil pipelines and power grids. Local sources say they began scouting regions rumored to house the generator's creators, offering investments in unrelated infrastructure, roads, factories, even schools. But behind the goodwill, were they searching for the secret? History has shown us, when disruptive technology threatens the old order, corporations act quickly, often with governments at their side. Could Africa's free energy already be caught in the crosshairs of a global business war? Yet, amidst this growing shadow, a new resistance is emerging. African innovators, activists, and community leaders are banding together, determined to protect what they believe is the continent's most powerful breakthrough. Some call it the new independence movement. Not political this time, but technological. They believe free energy could unlock prosperity on a scale never seen before, powering schools, hospitals, and industries without debt or dependency. For them, surrendering this invention to foreign powers would be repeating history. Their mission is simple, yet dangerous. Keep the technology in Africa and ensure it serves humanity, not corporations, not governments, and not armies. But the world is watching. Satellite images reportedly show increased surveillance over regions tied to the inventors. Intelligence insiders whisper of covert operations. Foreign agents slipping into cities, following leads, trying to trace the elusive generator. It's not just the Pentagon anymore. China, Russia, and Europe are all rumored to be in the hunt. What began as a small African breakthrough has now become the center of a silent global race, one that could decide who controls the future of energy. The race for Africa's free energy technology had reached a breaking point. Governments watched, corporations circled, and intelligence agencies moved like shadows. But in the middle of the chaos stood a small group of inventors, determined, defiant, and unwilling to let their creation disappear into the vaults of power. One thing is clear. If this generator ever sees mass adoption, the world will never be the same. Imagine entire nations' power without oil. Families no longer choosing between food and electricity bills. Armies no longer fighting over pipelines. Africa, once exploited for its resources, rising as the cradle of a new energy era. It is a vision too powerful to ignore, and perhaps too dangerous to fully reveal. So where does that leave us? The Pentagon can't ignore it. Corporations can't afford it. And the people of Africa can't let it go. The truth is, the story is still unfolding. Somewhere, hidden from headlines and beyond the eyes of the public, this free energy generator exists, or at least the idea of it does. And perhaps that's the greatest power of all. Not the device itself, but the hope it inspires. That one day, humanity will break free from the chains of energy dependency and step into a new age of limitless possibility. Africa's secret free energy generator may remain a mystery for now, but one thing is certain. The world will never stop searching for it. Because once the idea of free energy is born, it can never truly be buried. High voltage. So I'll leave you with one final question. If this technology surfaced tomorrow, who should control it? The Pentagon, corporations, or the people of the world?